Hello, welcome to our second ever podcast on the channel. I'm here with my dude Sonic EKB, aka Ethan, and he actually last week proposed a really interesting topic for us to talk about today, and that is speculation on the new Dead by Daylight killer. As you guys may or may not be aware, it was thrown at actually a couple times on my stream, and I've seen it other places, that the new killer was going to be the Jeepers Creeper. However, regarding everything I've heard since, we know it's not the case, and it's going to be an original creation. I'm referencing the "This is only the beginning" post on the site from March 22nd, 2018, regarding everything that's coming to the game in the next 12 months, the roadmap, the skins, the unlockable character. Sonic, really quick, since you did propose this to me, first and foremost, what are your thoughts on the new killer, regarding it, being an original creation instead of the Creeper? What do you think about that?
Well, my speculation is that it's gonna be most likely it's not gonna be a movie killer. It's not gonna be like that. It's probably gonna be one of the random killers, like the ones that they usually start off with the game. Now, if you go back with the tweet that says it's only the beginning, this shows that they're probably, well, my speculation is the thing that means this is only the beginning means that it's probably going to just start the original way of how it used to be. The original killers were originally not movie characters.
Unlicensed. Yeah, I'm kind of going with the same thing, dude. There's been teases like at PAX East, for example, and it looks to be some kind of carnival inspired killer.
Like a Ringmaster.
Exactly, I think that's actually what it's called, right?
The first thing that came in my mind was they're gonna add Pennywise, but then looking at the outfit, it basically shows that there's gonna be a Ringmaster into the Dead by Daylight type of killers. It's pretty good. If it's like a clown Ringmaster, I'm cool with that to bring more scariness into the game.
Okay. Now let me ask you this, since we are on the topic. How do you feel about it being an unlicensed character as opposed to someone we know like the Jeepers Creeper or Pennywise, the clown, like you just said? How do you feel about that? Do you want them to keep going down this road, or do you want them to start bringing back killers that we know?
I want them to keep like a minimum and keep new killers like Pennywise. Since there's multiple killers out there, maybe they can just do the movie characters first and then start adding in secondary characters that we haven't even heard of that are in the game. For example, I really wanted Pennywise into the game. My feeling is that one day we will get him. It's just right now we're not gonna get him. So bringing the Ringmaster into this is a really good idea, and it can bring a whole new vibe to the game.
Okay, and they actually touched upon this topic, since you did bring it up, Sonic, saying that, regarding licensed characters, not that they're necessarily going to get trouble moving forward, but that it could take longer than we want. So in my mind, I'm thinking they're doing this to kind of cut down that wait time, making sure that we're not going 4 or 5 months without content, which actually, is a great thing. I feel like other games should really adopt this kind of business practice, because, with all the competition in the gaming world these days, all the games that are just hot right now, you can't afford as developers to not drop content. The more frequently and the more you can drop, the better, dude. And so I'm kind of glad that they're going that route, just to make sure that us Dead by Daylight players do have something. I do hope that they continue to commit, though, however, to dropping some known killers, because I think that's one advantage this game has to Friday, is that we can get Michael Myers, we can get Freddy Krueger and Leatherface, and I think that's great. I think honestly, if they can do both, that'd be awesome. But Ringmaster, getting back to that, what do you think out of curiosity, Sonic, his abilities are going to be? What do you think is going to be? What do you think is going to be his configuration that's going to make him unique?
Well, my first theory that's gonna like lay into this is that his one of his abilities is gonna play carnival music as he's chasing after you, and another one is probably like some sort of distraction or like something. You remember that hand that was like in his pocket with his like other hand?
Uh-huh.
It had like colored fingers. Something's telling me that must be like minions or like a puppet master. Like he's like a puppet master, and like he gets that thing to come after you, and it probably just scans the area looking for you, and then when it sees you, it alerts him, and then he comes after you. And I feel like they're gonna make a map for him and everything. Like the way how his like thing is built of Ringmaster, they're probably gonna be carnivals, and one of the first things that came into my mind with this thought was the what's it called, like maybe while like the horse ride in a carnival, maybe you see him on there like looking at you, like maybe he could be like one of the biggest like scariest characters ever.
Okay. I mean, there's definitely that creepy element, you know, with him being something circus based. I'm looking at actually a forum right now regarding the Ringmaster Dead by Daylight general discussions. It's actually on the Steam website. A lot of people think this is coming in June, and a lot of people think that before this drops, there needs to be some balancing changes. What do you think of, have you had a chance, Sonic, to see the roadmap regarding year 3?
I haven't got to see the roadmap. I have got to see that they're adding emblems into the game, like Call of Duty emblems. I think it's gonna be like that, but I feel like when they have this roadmap, they want to change up the game as much as they can. They don't want it to be like a sort of game that's supposed to be like survival. They probably want to change it to be like more creative, like maybe you can customize your own emblem. Like, I only got to see the emblem ones, I didn't get to see the other two.
Okay. So I'm looking at it right now, Sonic, and it looks like this next year, from this summer until next spring, is going to be broken up into 4 parts, 3 months apart. This summer we have a Chapter 8 patch. We have a new killer, a balancing update, bug fixes, new survivor, and new map. And that is actually the same content that's dropping in every quarter of this upcoming year. But in between, we're getting mid-chapter updates. I'm willing to bet that this first portion of this upcoming year, new killer in the Chapter 8 patch is going to be the Ringmaster. But out of curiosity, Sonic, knowing what the year brings ahead, we got 3 new killers coming between this summer and spring, after the Ringmaster, of course. I want to know, take your shot in the dark, what are the 3 killers that we're getting, if you had a guess?
Do I have to include the Ringmaster, or should I like remove him?
He's already the first out of the 4, so I'm just to fucking, you know, humor me, man.
Yeah.
What do you think the following 3 killers are gonna be?
Okay, first killer has to be like some sort of clown related, like Pennywise. Second character is gonna be a what the hell is that thing called? The Leprechaun from the Leprechaun movie.
Uh-huh.
I have to add him in there. So you got Pennywise, the Leprechaun. I want Jeepers Creepers, of course.
So you think they're bringing that back? You think that wasn't just a rumor, that they're actually gonna go somewhere with that?
Well, I don't think it's gonna be a rumor. Most likely they're gonna like. That'd be cool to add him. Like maybe when he chases it after you, you get more afraid, and when you get more afraid, it's easier to get killed by him. Like that should be one of his abilities. And my final character, or my final one. I don't want the what's it called? I want it to be as much scary as it can be, but I don't know if it will be this scary. I want to have them add Chucky into the game.
Okay. All very interesting choices. I can say honestly, regarding one of them, my choices are the same. I think honestly, once they bring back the Ringmaster, or when they bring the Ringmaster in June, The next killer is going to be the Jeepers Creeper. I think that there was more than rumor to that, and they're probably working on obtaining the rights. But I think that's coming after the Ringmaster. If you ask me if I had a bet on it, beyond that, call me crazy. I know one's going to be an unlicensed character. One's going to be an original creation at least, if not both of them. We could be looking at nothing but unlicensed characters for the next year. But if we're getting a new licensed one, this has been thrown out a lot on the streams. I completely agree, and I'm going to reiterate it. Ghostface. Ghostface is just perfect for this game. He doesn't have any crazy ability that would be off-putting. He's a physical killer. He kills you with a knife. It wouldn't be weird to see Ghostface hooking a survivor. Most likely what, brother?
Yeah. Most likely, I feel like this can be more of like a better way, instead of having any abilities, that there is 4 survivors, right? Just like a regular, or like 5 survivors, and one of them are the killer, which is Ghostface, and then they have to survive, look around for like maybe objectives if they add that into the game. I want they should add you have to guess who the killer is, so you have to solve puzzles to find out who's the killer, what weapon this was caused by, and then when you put that all together you find out who the killer is. But when you're the killer you get alerted that you are the killer, and then you have to kill the other remaining survivors but not being detected.
That almost sounds like a new game mode, which I think could be just the right thing to spice this game up. Now, I wouldn't go, Sonic, as far as to call this game dead. I think it always had a really small player base, It was never the game of the week, the way, say, Friday was. When Friday dropped around this time last year, it was everywhere. It was hot. It was it was the thing, It was King of the Hill for a couple months. I feel like Dead by videos. It was everywhere, bro. And I feel like Dead by Daylight, although it's always been a solid game and popular in its own right, never had that, because it was out for I think almost a whole year before, correct? And it has its player base. It has a very committed player base. Everyone that I see on my friends list who plays this game, that's what they play, and they're committed to this game, and it has a really good replay value, same as Friday. But I think if they want to consider expanding upon that, because I'm not sure if you saw that this is only the beginning post, but they're talking about making the game more accessible for new players, changing some balancing issues. What else did they say regarding that? But essentially, the vibe I got, I think it's from actually the video that's on that post, is talking about making the game just a little bit better for new players. And I think a way they can bring a lot of new people in is like what you were just saying, drop in a new mode. Friday, it's not still 100% on the table, but there's been talk about. But but I'm saying there's been talk of us getting paranoia. And that's
hasn't happened.
But what I'm saying is there's at least talk about it, and there's hype built in. Even if it doesn't happen, it was something that they were at least thinking about. And I feel like Dead by Daylight could do the same thing. I mean, what do you think about that, Sonic? Do you think if they were to drop a new game mode for Dead by Daylight, do you think that would be necessary, first of all, and do you think it'd be a good thing for the game?
I think it would be a good thing to the game, because it's maybe when new players come in, they can have 2 options instead of having one. They can play the game with their friends, survive with your friends, or have a new game mode with the Ghostface, and maybe more people, if it's better than the quick play game, the regular multiplayer matches, maybe people will be really hooked onto that game mode if they actually do drop something like that. But I think it would be good to have 2 things more than just one, just surviving with randoms or with your friends, or play as the killer. I think that they should add something into have new stuff, have new elements into the game.
I mean, look at I hate to bring it up already, but look at Fortnite. Most people play Battle Royale, right? But if you get bored and you're really all about Fortnite and that's all you play from the time you log on to the time you sign off, you can also play Save the World, And even though not that many people play it compared to Battle Royale, I feel like it's good to have a secondary mode to fall back on. And, you know, I think it could only benefit the game. Like you said, it could give us something new to do. But since, Sonic, I want to pivot really quick. We are on the topic of the roadmap. Something that really struck out to me that I'm kind of happy about, and I'm not all about a Dead by Daylight like that. I play it, I'm a fan, but I'm not a like expert. You know, it's not. I can't even tell you the last time I streamed it. But one thing that struck out to me that got me kind of excited at Sonic was the fact that they're gonna start dropping both killers and survivors that you can unlock just by playing, and
Yeah.
and we're also getting cosmetics for the characters, survivors and killers, that you can buy. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts on that is that's a really good idea. It can like instead of like having to pay like for like a DLC, like the guy that came with Jigsaw, he had to be paid for. I think with Jigsaw, and when you have to pay for him, instead of paying for him, you can unlock him. That you can complete a couple challenges. Maybe you can like fix these many generators, and boom, unlock the new character. Maybe you can survive these many times, and like you can have unlock new characters, new killers by doing things. Like, for example, you can kill like a person with a like the trapper, and then like 4 times, like trap someone 4 times, and then boom, you got like the Ringmaster, or like someone else, like Ghostface. Like that'd be a really perfect element to add into the game. Like instead of just paying for the killers or the survivors, like you can just unlock them.
And that would be great. Honestly, I feel like that would be awesome. However, just because the game is so cheap, like what I mean by that is like I think it's still like $30 or something, and you know, I think the impression I got from reading this, Sonic, was we're still gonna get those $15 bundles of like the new killer, the new survivor, and the new map. You know, they're gonna drop Ghostface and Sydney and I don't know, some suburban map. You know, but and you'll pay $15 for that. But in between, you can unlock, I don't know, some crazy blob or whatever their original creations are. You can unlock that in between and the new survivors. Do you feel so? You're telling me you feel like they should get rid of that whole $15 a bundle element and just incorporate that all into the game, and the only thing we pay for are cosmetics? Is that what you're kind of going at, Sonic?
Yeah, because it's like maybe like people want to afford like a character really bad. They don't have the money, but a better idea to do it, kind of similar to Friday, is that you complete a couple challenges. Like, I'm not saying it's like Friday, but you complete a couple challenges, like you just complete like maybe trap people, kill people with a regular move. You hang people, like you can unlock like a new character, like how you said, like Sydney from Scream. You can unlock her, or maybe like another person that worked at the carnival, like with the Ringmaster, like
just something related,
maybe,
essentially.
Yeah, something related, like maybe a lost kid that was crying and most likely was stuck in a carnival, which I highly doubt they ain't gonna allow a kid being killed. It's just that I think they have to allow like new elements, like maybe a security guard that worked in the carnival and seen all of like the stuff happening, like stuff like that would maybe attract a new audience, like people from Friday. Like for example, we're still waiting for the update, and they should like attract like new fans. Like, I think they're trying to do that with the new element that they're gonna drop.
Yeah, I agree, Sonic. You know, I could say from my personal experience that I've turned on in the last 2 weeks Dead by Daylight more than Friday the 13th, and that has never happened before. And I think it's just because we're going through a drought with F13. I think if Dead by Daylight really wants to capitalize on this, they're going to do some of these ideas that you said. You know, I think there's been a big shift, since we're on the topic, Sonic, regarding gamers and their relationship to games. I feel like we're starting to get sick and tired of being just nickel and dimed for every little thing, you know? You want to play this, $15. You want to pay this, you know? You want to play this, $5. And it's just like, it gets old, you know? Like, that whole, you got to pay to play aspect of games, I feel like we're seeing the death of it. I mean, look at how much Call of Duty World War II's player base has dwindled in the months. You know, I know Fortnite's become more popular, but on the same token, I think people got tired of, like Bullet and I were talking during the last podcast, paying $120 a year to play a Call of Duty game that's going to come out the next year and be almost the same, you know?
Yeah, it's like they always like reskin their games.
Yeah, it's $15, you know, every season, and you know, same with Dead by Daylight. It's $15 every time they come out with a new bundle, but it's like not everyone wants to drop $15 every couple months for a game that they paid $30 for. You know, you buy two. I've bought two of the bundle. Actually, I bought three. I bought Leatherface, the Nightmare, and the Shape. Yeah, exactly. And I think Leatherface is $5, but Michael and Freddy were both, I think, somewhere in the $15-$20 range because it came with the maps and, you know, the survivors. Essentially, between those two killers, I don't even have to pick. I don't even have to pick because I don't play the game like that anymore. Those two DLC packs essentially made me buy the game twice, and I think people are waking up to this. And I never considered your idea, Sonic, but I really like it. I think it's something more the community should propose to the forums regarding, you know, let's stop paying for these bundles.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we don't need to drop more and more money. Your game's still going to be funded, but you're going to do it with cosmetics. Same way, you know, I know it's a really bad example, but Star Wars Battlefront recently did the same thing where you're not going to pay... No, I'm just saying, like, you're not going to pay anymore for... let me see. You're not going to pay crystals anymore to unlock this purple card for this character and like level your shit up and like unlock this gun. Like now, if you're going to pay $15, you're getting this skin and this skin and this skin. Essentially, what I'm saying is like, make us pay for stuff, but don't make it in relation to like playing the game. Like for instance, I cannot play as the pig or David. I think his name's Tap, the survivor, at all. I can play the map, but I can never select those two because I didn't buy the $15 bundle. Get rid of that, and maybe, like, you know, the people who want to spend the money, who are okay with it, you know, they have cooler outfits that I will never have. We can both play the same characters, but they're going to have outfits on. I'm okay with that, you know? If it's just a superficial thing, I'm okay with that. I really like, that's a good idea, Sonic. Good on you, man. Good on you. I mean, anything you want to add to that? Do you feel like it should just be a cosmetic thing as well, or like, I mean, I know you posed the idea. Is there? I guess what I'm asking is there anything you want to like elaborate on regarding that, or you think we pretty much covered it?
Well, I want to add like one thing is like when like people like want like some sort of like DLC or skin. Just like how you said, you have to pay like $15, $20 for just a map and like a thing. You're not buying like weapons for the character. You're not buying clothes for the character. Of course, like you're gonna have to pay for something, but they have to add that element into the game because, like, I don't understand the point of having $20 for like a Michael Myers and have like a green jumpsuit or like a new weapon, like, or a new mask. Like, it doesn't make any sense just to pay for games that, like elements that are in the games. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
I agree, and I'm glad that, like, I feel like the general shift of players who play games are starting to wake up, you know, to this. Like, Fortnite's doing it right, you know. You pay $10 for the season pass every 70 days if you want to. If you don't, not a big deal. You can still play the game. And guess what? If you want to pay for anything, here are some cosmetics. Like, I feel like more and more games should adopt this style. Really quick, Sonic, I'm reading through some of this posts, rereading, and something kind of stood out to me, man. I wanted to hear your opinion on this. They're saying they're going to, in summary, over the next 12 months, Dead by Daylight will be expanded and improved with, one of the points is an anti-cheat reinforcement to help make Dead by Daylight a better place for all players. And there was another one too. Something about toxic. Pretty much they're trying to eliminate the toxic element of the game with like trolling and stuff. What do you think they're gonna do by that? Because I think what they mean by it is like when the survivors unlock the gate and they just wait for the killer and they like teabag. We've all seen it before. If you played this game and you played as a killer, we've all been trolled like that before. I think they mean stuff like that, and then also stuff. I'm assuming stuff like the killer camping the hooks and body blocking. With the survivors body block. Well, actually, there's already a way around that. The killer could just slash them anyway. But what do you think about that? How do you think they're going to implement those changes, Sonic?
So, my theory is that the thing with like the teabagging, it's a little funny, but when you're the killer, it ain't funny. Like, you want to get this all said and done. Like, stop prolonging it. Like maybe they should give like a sort of countdown. Like a couple theories that I got for like they should like when you're near the exit and you're like trolling, saying that most likely you're gonna get kicked. Like it's gonna give you like a 10-second warning.
Yeah.
Or it's either gonna give you like a like most likely it's gonna like when like most likely. I think the best theory to go with this is if you're trolling the dude, like let's just say the pig, you're trolling him. The moment you're like still trolling him, the gate closes. Boom, you can't go through that exit no more. So you have to go around and find like another way to escape. And if you troll him again, boom, there ain't no way to like escape no more. You're gonna die.
Okay, that's interesting. I was going somewhere a little bit different, but I like your idea of like the exit starts sealing off for good. You know, that actually makes a lot of sense. I was going somewhere like once you open the gate and you cross the like where the gate is. You know, the threshold, you know, that little area that you can kind of hang out in before you get to the actual edge of the map. I feel like, you know, it could be cool too is like once you open the gate and you cross that threshold, you have like say a 20-30 second, maybe minute long, because if you want to, you know, rescue any survivors on the hooks, countdown before you're insta killed. And what I mean by that is like, you know, like even if you go back into the map and stuff, if you're like just wasting time to piss the killer off and be in control, that should come back to bite you in the ass. I really like, but you know what? Now that I've actually said that out loud, I'm not gonna lie, Sonic. I kind of like your idea of the exit sealing off a little bit better. TBH.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's just that like toxic players. I was playing as the trapper one day. I was chasing after this dude playing Ring Around the Rosie. He hit me like with some sort of thing. It was like a flashlight. Well, he didn't hit me, but he like shined it at that. I don't know if like it does it with any other killer, but it did it to mine. And I see him teabagging me. The moment I try to like hit him, he leaves. Like I think that's a good idea. Like I think you should get insta killed. That's another great idea. Like most likely if you don't wait like until like a 10-second or 30-second or a minute, like just pausing there, like doing nothing, just waiting for the killer and trolling him, you insta get killed right there. Boom, done.
Yeah. That's not bad.
I really like your idea too.
Yeah, maybe they could figure something out and incorporate both elements, you know? I will say, and I've been saying this since I've started playing the game last year, Sonic, that I feel like there needs to be a timer on matches. Because there's been times, I remember one time Bullet was Michael and I was Lori, where he was chasing me around for, I'm going to say, 15-20 minutes. I ended up escaping, but like the fact that the match took like that long and it was on stream was like, it was killing me, you know? After a while, I kind of wanted him to just catch me and like get it over with. And I feel like, you know, I get it. It does have various different details from F13, but what I like about F13 is like, you got 20 minutes to do this. If you do it, great. If you don't, you know, it is what it is. But like to like be in the game, you know, can you imagine, just think with me, Sonic, the longest Dead by Daylight round that's ever been played compared to, you know, all the F13 matches. The longest one ever is 20 minutes. We know that for a fact.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
I remember I got chased around by Leatherface for like freaking 5 minutes, felt like 5 years. Well, he was chasing around, but I kept juking him. And what happens the moment I, you know those things that you close on him so like he doesn't like, when he kicks it down?
Oh,
like
the pallets? Yeah, the pallets.
Someone closed it on me. The moment I was about to go, like the moment I was about to jump over, like not jump over, but walk by, she closed it. She was like,
really?
She was a Lori, and then he got to kill me.
Wow. See, that hasn't happened to me
freaking...
before. Wow. Hey, speaking of trolls and just people who, you know, play this game already and just kind of suck, this post, this one from, you know, March, this is the beginning, is talking about balancing changes. Pretty much, I think what they're getting at is when you play F13, a new player could come into the game. They're probably going to get killed, wrecked either way if they're Jason or the counselors. But it's a fun, easy to learn game. You can chill and have a good time playing F13 and still, concentrate on the game and not have to be so try hard. I noticed this because when I stream it, I'm able to look at the chat, talk to you guys more, just all in all have a good time. When I play, or even Dead by Daylight, I have to give it my full-blown attention and concentrate. And I notice every time I stream it, I hardly have time to look at the chat because I'm just concentrated on not dying, essentially. I think what Dead by Daylight is trying to do by doing this, Sonic, is they're trying to make this game somehow a little bit more welcoming to new or noob players, because one can argue that, if you've never played Dead by Daylight before and you're going into a game, the level of tryhardness and everything, it's crazy, it's almost like Friday is the easier game to pick up, but the harder to master, and Dead by Daylight is the harder to pick up and the easier to master. I mean, do you agree with that? Do you agree? First of all, do you agree with that, Sonic? And second of all, what do you think, just out of curiosity, what are your ideas regarding ways that they're going to make it a little bit more balanced for players all across the board?
Well, first, I totally agree with your idea. It's more easy. Some parts of the games could be more easier, and then another part of the game can be harder. And then essentially another part of the other game, like Friday, there can be one part of it that's easy and another part that's hard. Like Juke and Jason, he's like a part 2 or part 4 Jason, you're done. You can't really just juke him around, especially part 3. You can't really juke Jasons like that, and you can't really juke the pig. The pig is really fast, and I feel it's really hard to master games. Just like how you said that you have to focus on the game instead of the stream is really true. That the fact is the moment you put your eyes on the stream, boom, you're dead. That's it. The killer already knows where you are. It could be the pig. He comes out of nowhere, just yaps you up, kills you, that. It's very hard. But with Friday, you can chill because the thing, I think the reason why that that happens is because there's 4 people in one lobby and there's a 1 killer, so it's pretty easy to get killed by the killer. And Friday you have what's it again, 8 other people, and one of them are getting chased by Jason, and you're more focused on you can be focused on the stream, be chill. Jason's all the way down there, you don't cause problems with Jason, stuff like that. Those are the 2 different things that are a part of Dead by Daylight and Friday.
Okay. To be honest with you, Sonic, because the game mode of Dead by Daylight, the 1-on-4 setup is so, in my opinion, it's kind of limited. Hence, us talking about earlier wanting to drop a new game mode for this game could be a really great idea to kind of spice things up. But getting back to this, because it's so limited, I'll be honest with you, dude, I'm kind of struggling to think of ways they can fix the balancing changes. The only thing that I could really think of off the top of my head is the same idea I had for Fortnite, which is breaking the servers up and separating players based on rank and skill level. If you're Michael Myers, it's level 30 or whatever, 50 and up, however high it goes. But if you are above a certain level and your stats are above a certain percentage, you go maybe into these servers. If you're new and you want to settle in, go in here. I think I agree with you regarding your comment and the pig. I think they need to completely get rid of that crouching ability where she has no terror radius. That's just insane. It's so overpowered. And every time I get into a lobby with the pig, all they do is crouch around until they find a survivor. Real talk.
Yeah, that's the pig is only good at is crouching down, ain't doing shit until you find a kill or someone to kill. You see someone fixing a generator, they don't know that a pig person is coming right at you. And the thing with that is the pig is like OP as hell.
Yeah.
Like, can't even like. That's like the Brock Lesnar of the Dead by Daylight. Like, it's like, oh, she's overpowered. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, agreed. And if it's their job to think of these details. I'm just wondering what they're gonna do to make it a more balanced game all around. All I know is that I'll be playing. I'm excited to see who the new killer is, and the fact that they're saying things like in between these packs of killers, maps, and survivors, they're doing patches. They're doing quality of life updates, making sure the game's running smoothly in between those 3 months. So essentially, you're looking at every month and a half, there's going to be some form of update in this game for the next year. That is fucking awesome. Considering, a lot of other games with, in my opinion, bigger budgets aren't doing that. The fact that you have this little game that, is amazing, and I'm excited. I'm actually, like I said, I've been turning it on more than Friday lately. It's not the game I most play as of now, but it's getting up there, and I think it's because these new things are bringing me back. I see that you're also playing it more, which is awesome. Sonic, before we wrap up this podcast, I want to know, is there anything else you want to add? Anything you feel like we missed in this discussion?
Well, what was the thing that you were gonna ask me? Like, I forgot to answer it, but it was something like with it was besides like balancing or like something similar to that.
Just now?
No, it was like a few minutes ago.
I must have forgot. It might not be that important. My bad. If I think of it again, I'll ask you on stream. But we kind of covered a lot here. Sonic, again, thank you for reaching out to me last week and proposing this topic for discussion. Guys, if you are watching, please feel free to do the same. If you have any topic that you think requires discussion, please reach out like my boy Sonic did. And also, if you have any opinion regarding what we just talked about, let us know in the comments. If you have an opinion on the new killer, if you have an opinion on the roadmap ahead, anything that you want to add, or if you want to say something that contradicts what we said, please let us know. This is an open forum, and I want to hear from all of you. Sonic, one more time, thank you for helping with this podcast today, man. Really appreciate it. I'd like to have it on the channel in a couple hours. And all in all, I'll be seeing you guys next time. Thank you for listening. If you were here, remember to like and subscribe. Kali Dali out.